Yeah, twins pod. Do you think there was like a how should I put it? You think there was some kind of agenda in the porn industry, like satanic?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
think Candace Owens talked about that. That it was like there's an agenda in the porn industry. There's satanic.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've struggled with porn addiction since. You know what? I joke about sex a lot, and I
Sure.
think the reason both of us do that is because we was exposed to pornography when we was like, what, 9, 10?
Yeah,
Maybe even
eight,
younger.
8, 9
We
years
found
old.
these dirty magazines,
Right.
and it was just, it just set me on a different path. It took the stigma away from sex and all of that. All those pictures I saw, it's like,
Right.
this is crazy. I want some of this. And
Yeah.
ever since then,
And you
I
grew
wish-
up in the 80s. So,
That was back when magazines were sort of fancy and the pictures were
oh
glamorous.
man, it was amazing.
Now it's just a snapshot taken from a video reel.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I've been in a couple magazines. I'm just making jokes. You know, the one thing, if a man or a woman, if they're solid in their beliefs, almost every person can be reached through their arousal because it's a biological function.
Right.
I believe that if you stimulate someone intimately, it derails everything else that they hold firm in. And in
Encourage
that
your
moment,
judgment.
yes, and they depend on that, which is why I believe pornography is so easy to be distributed now because they need the people like you and the people, like who I feel I am now. They need you to be derailed in moments of stress and tension so you don't stay laser focused on the man behind the curtain and what he's up to.
Yeah.
yeah. That was a beautiful statement.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have more.
Yeah. I think we come from the mindset that sexuality it can be taught. Like
Yes.
some people are born straight or gay. I firmly believe that.
Yes.
But the majority of us,
Right.
your sexuality is dependent on what you was exposed to while you were growing up. Like I have a firm belief that if me and Kevin was adopted,
Right.
or my dad went gay and left my mom and he had a gay lover and we lived with him and we grew up under his household, we would be gay.
Maybe. I mean, that's possible.
Yeah.
I agree with you, though. I believe that a person's adult sexuality is the result of their introduction into being physically aroused.
Yeah.
I think a person's first physical arousal sets the path for how they believe sex should happen as an adult.
Yeah, just
Right.
like pedophilia. The kids that go through that, when they grow up, they end up doing it to kids
Yeah.
themselves.
Or they kill themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came across several TikTok videos, and
I think they killed themselves because that's been built into their brain and now they're craving it.
Right.
I
Or,
think that's why they end up doing that.
right. But
yeah.
I've noticed these two gay men. I mean, they're like, I have nothing against gay people, right? But I see a lot of gay men. I see a lot of transgender women, transgender men. I'm seeing they're adopting these kids. And when I look at the videos, they're like showing these kids they adopted like they're trophies.
Right.
Like it validates them and their lifestyle.
Part of the costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They make the kids part of their costume. Yep.
right.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me why a gay man or two gay men or two gay women would want to have a child and raise them as a family. And when I look at the videos of these people showing these children, it's almost like they're
Parading.
parading them to
Yeah.
show you that I'm normal, that I'm,
Right.
Yeah.
So what
I
does that
don't-
tell you?
yeah,
What does that tell you when they feel the need to have a child to feel normal?
right.
That without that child, they feel what?
Feel empty.
Right. Why is that?
Yeah, because they are empty.
Right.
And
You're going to ruffle a lot of feathers today.
yeah, I really like. If you want to, I believe marriage is between a man and a woman. But if the state wants to marry two men, two women, so be it. I believe in separation of church and state. But I do not really. I
You shouldn't call it a marriage. It should be called a civil union.
Yeah, I strongly believe that gay parents should not raise children. They should not be able to adopt children. You can have your own children if you
Yeah.
want to go out and do it the right way, but
Yeah.
you shouldn't be able to adopt children. You know, I'm a sole believer that I hate when I come across these videos, these people are taking other people's children and then indoctrinating them with this nonsense. Yeah, and they tell them that they're a boy when they're a girl at the age of 3, and they're doing, it's just sick. I actually saw a transgender man on TikTok trying to breastfeed his child.
That made me sick. I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah. And nothing happens to these people. Yeah.
Lord, come back tomorrow.
I remember back in the day, for you to adopt a kid, you had to have a stable household, a mother and a father. Both had to have incomes. You couldn't be living in poverty. Now it seems like you just give these kids to anybody. There's no requirements.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. I would like to speak on that.
Yeah. There's no easy way to talk about it either.
There isn't, but that's what you guys are all about, though. You guys are all about touching on the difficult topics.
Yeah, I do not like that at all.
I think they can have kids if they go about getting like
but adopting kids,
adopt them
is a big no for me
personally.
I know gay couples that are wonderful to their children, but the majority that I see on the internet, the published stories and photos and videos are of people who sexualize their children in one way or another.
Right.
By exposing them too early to sexuality. And children, like it says in the Bible, it says we become of age of awareness, right? There's such a thing as coming of age of awareness. When a child is ready to start making that decision to become aware, then it's their place to begin making these decisions about how they feel about sex or sexuality. But someone forcing that upon them before they are of age to be aware to make that decision is wrong. It is dead wrong.
Right.
And it's all I'm seeing is these celebrities, they're parading their children around as accessories, as fashion accessories. Like they're being good minions and transforming their children, you know, with excuses and all sorts of stories. And the child isn't even old enough to tie its shoes yet.
Right.
You mean to tell me that your 3-year-old has decided it wants to be?
Yeah. Right.
You know,
yeah.
oh my God.
My son came in and told me at 3 he was a girl. It's like,
yeah, that's just weird. It's like when you become an adult, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
But I was like, they pushing this on kids. It's
Children. And that has very much to do with why I retired. That has almost everything to do with why I got out, why I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to make a huge change in my life. I need to figure out how to do that. But for right now, I'm done.
That's got to be tough because I'm assuming you were making a lot of money.
Huge.
And then just to cut that off overnight, that's a huge decision.
It was. But I heard a voice so profound and it was so undeniable that I didn't hesitate for a second to say, okay. I said it out loud, okay.
Yeah.
And I came home and I talked to my husband after being overseas and I said, baby, this is the strangest thing. I got to tell you about this. And this is what my heart says. And he supported me 100%. But I started looking after the election back in 2020. I started looking into things that were questionable to me, things that they were trying to cram down people's throats. It didn't sound quite right. And I started doing research. Now, you know, one particular popular search engine is all about making sure you get the information they want you to get.
Right.
And then out came this other search engine, which we thought was going to be pretty cool, but it turns out they're compromised too.
Right.
So I asked a bunch of my nerd friends, I said, what are your search engines? So we came up with 5 all together, and I would cross-check each story across all 5 search engines and see what I had in common. And I would do that for everything. And I would spend hours a day, hours.
Yeah.
And it was fun because I'm like Batman. I'm trying to find the truth.
Yeah.
Right? And what I learned was there were a lot of lies. A lot of lies and a lot of scary, evil people making all of this stuff happen. And I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that. Decided to make a change.
Yeah. What do you think about OnlyFans became really huge? It's like a lot of women are making a lot of money now doing that.
Yes.
That's not good for society, is it? It makes it so easy. There's no gatekeeper, you know? Now anybody can do it.
I think for the most part, when you was in the adult films, you were happy.
I was very happy.
Yeah. So you just had this called the Jesus moment that changed your life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hand to God, He told me to go home and never do another porno again.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so
cool.
I'm assuming these girls that do OnlyFans, they're happy. Not they're their own boss. They're not being forced to do anything.
I'm sure it's liberating for them.
Yeah.
It can be, but it's also a trap.
Yeah.
It's a trap. Too.
It's a trap.
I think that's the perfect word, trap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gateway.
Yeah.
The gateway is the stripping. The gateway is the chat lines, the social media accounts that they try to grow by posting pictures of themselves in their underwear. I see it all so differently now. And it's just like I encourage the crap out of that with my work, and I want nothing to do with it now. There are a lot of people who don't know any better. A lot of women who get into the business that just don't know any better. And they don't ever develop the skills to make a living in a different way.
Right.
And they are the ones that fare the worst, because when they try to quit, they don't know which way to go about it, and they get stuck.
They don't have any skills.
None.
You're pretty much trapped. 'Cause you're going from making tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to zero.
Yeah. And now you got to go do something for $10, $12, $15 an hour.
Yeah, like
With no skills and work your way up. It's once you go into it, it's so hard to get out of it. It's like being addicted to a drug. You can.
It's definitely a journey that's not easy to travel. You see a lot of people online now these days becoming affiliate salespeople. A lot of people doing the internet marketing. They're coming across with the YouTube channels, making advertising revenue. What a lot of people in the adult industry don't realize is that their business skills translate to outside of having sex for a living. There are a lot of other things that they can use some of those skills for. Okay.
You can do a commodity. You can do a commodity and become vice president of the United States. Open your legs up and suck some dudes off.
Got our new giveaway. You asked for it, we got it. Man, this is a 69 Chevy Camaro. We give away American muscle here. This is actually a race car, standard, 6-speed, Yanko version. Did you tell him it had a 540 big block in it? It's got over 700 horsepower in now. Did you hear that? This car got over 700 horses. That's crazy. How did they get 700 horses up under the hood? That's that white American engineering right there. That's what founded this country. Go to officialhardtwins.com. Anything you buy from the site, get you automatic. Enter to win. Yeah.